Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel Natural Living by Inovi, where I show you how easy it is to prepare your favorite meals with healthy options, driving directions around Jamaica's self-care, home care, and so much more. My focus is always on a healthy lifestyle and discussions on how to maintain a positive mindset. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Subscription is free, so all you need to do is press that red arrow at the bottom of the video. And that's where we are. The ackee is ready to go, all done. Ackee, which is considered to be a fruit, it is used to cook our national dish in Jamaica called Ackee and Saltfish. So I'm gonna go through the steps with you. I'm gonna cook the dish too. So this is the pods, usually 3 in a pod, and then you have, that's how they are with that little black seed at the top. Then you take off the seed and a little pink thing in the middle, and then this is how it is after you've taken all that off. I just got off the road where I bought these ackees from a place, it's like a farmer's market, because they spoil easily, so you would hardly find them in the supermarket. Plus it's more expensive in the supermarkets because they spoil so easily. So 3 seeds come in each pod on average. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 4 or so, but it's normally 3 on average. And what we want to get out is this black seed with the fruit attached to it. So I'm gonna show you how I go about getting that out and preparing it, and then cooking it with the saltfish. It's very delicious, our Jamaican national dish, ackee and saltfish. So these are the ackees now. I've taken them out of the pod, so now I'm gonna take off the seeds and the little pink thing inside. Okay, so I'm gonna show you now how I take it out. The pink thing, you take that out with the knife, like that. And then this little black, some people just cut off all of this, but that's really wasting it. So I just use the knife and take out little part here. So this is, I have to do that with all of them, and I have 4 dozen ackees. So 4 dozen times 3, so 48 times 3, that's how many ackees I have to do that for. So now it's nice and clean. So here we have now all the ackee with the seeds taken out and cleaned thoroughly. And this is the salted codfish, so I'm gonna boil them together. But this has on a lot of salt, so what I'm gonna do is wash some of the salt off. I'm also gonna wash the ackee. Some people don't believe in it, but I believe in it. But I wash the ackee just before I put it in the hot boiling water. Because if you wash it and put it down, it will get soft. So as I mentioned before, it spoils easily. So I'm gonna put on the water now, and then add the ackee and the saltfish to it. So I just wash the ackee in the running water, and then just put it in another container as I go along. So that's how I get it all washed. So we have the boiling water now. Just gonna pour in the ackee. So you just make sure the ackees are all covered. Now I'm gonna put in the salted fish. So I'm gonna take it out before I take out the ackee, that's why I put it in after. So I want it to be cooked properly. So I'm not putting any salt in the pot. So I don't boil it separately because I like the flavor it gives to the ackee. So this is the scale side of the fish. Right. So I'm gonna take, I think I should turn it down like this because I don't like when the little gray parts come out onto the ackee. This is why it's important not to put too much water in the pot. The first reason is that it will boil over, and the second reason, if you have the ackee floating around in too much water, it will break up, because once it's boiled it is very delicate, so it's really soft and you have to handle it with care. So you don't want to have it all mashed out, so just enough water to cover the ackee. Okay, how I know the ackee is boiled? Because some ackees are soft, some are hard, so you can't just say, oh, let it boil for half an hour or an hour. You have to test it and make sure it is properly cooked. So one of the things you can do, you don't have to actually taste it, you just take up a little piece and just put it between your fingers, and if it mashes out like that, then it's ready. If you had little hard bits, then it would not have been ready. This is what the ackee looks like when it's boiled. It gets very yellow. What I'm gonna do, some people pour the water off. I don't pour water off things. Even when I wash things, I take them out of the water. I just think it's a better idea, just in case there's anything in it that shouldn't be in it. So taking it out. So I use this spoon with some holes in it, and it can handle the ackee very gently, as you see. It's very gentle. So I just take all of this out, and I'm gonna let it cool a little. You don't have to let it cool, but because I'm gonna have to cut up the seasoning and take the skin off the saltfish and flake it, so by the time I'm done doing all of that, the ackee would have been somewhat cool. So this is what the water looks like when I'm done taking out the ackee. So you see those little gray bits that came off the saltfish? I don't want them in the ackee, so that's why I prefer to just take the ackee from out of the water. So this water now, I'll just throw this away. I don't need this. So now we have the salted fish, which is boiled, and I'm going to take off the skin and take out the flesh. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take off the bones. It doesn't matter how much saltfish exactly. You don't have an exact amount. If you like a lot of saltfish with your ackee, then you add more. If you don't like a lot of saltfish, then you add less. One of the things you must do though, after I've finished all of this, taking off the scales and the bones and everything, I'm going to rinse it with some water. But you have to taste it. Taste a little piece to ensure that it is not so I've taken off that. You have to taste a little piece to ensure it is not salty, because you don't want it salty. So this is the saltfish now after I've washed it off. Washed out the amount of salt I wanted out of it. So this is ready to cook. So I'm gonna wash my onions. I like to wash my onions and garlic before and after peeling, because these things are grown in the soil. So if I always think when I see people just peel the onions and that's it, even if you wash it before. I'm I'm gonna cut up the seasoning now for the ackee and saltfish. I keep my scallion. Some people say scallion. There's actually a strain of the scallion that is called escallion, which is what we have in Jamaica. So it's really escallion, but many people don't know that. Some people call it green onions. So when I buy them, I just clean them up, wash them, and freeze them in these pieces. So I'm gonna cut this up. And I have my onions and my sweet pepper and my Scotch bonnet pepper. The flavor is really lovely. I don't cut it up because it will be too hot. I don't like my food so hot, very hot. So scallion. I also freeze my thyme, so when I'm ready for that, so I'll do some of it here. I like to squash my garlic. It doesn't have to be too fine. And I won't put the pepper in the pot as yet until later on. I'm using a medium to large onion. I'm going to use all of it. Don't waste anything, the little part, I cut everything up. I won't cut them too small today, just a rough chop. Some oil into the pot, not too much, just enough to have a thin layer of oil on the bottom of the pot. And I spread out the seasoning. Cover the pot and let this gently get to where the onions are translucent and the tomatoes are soft. Just giving it a quick check to see everything is boiling. Stir it up a little. Continue to cook, it's not ready yet, so I'll let this continue to cook a little more. It's looking good now. Good. I'm gonna add the saltfish. The tailbone, most people throw it away, but I love it, so I put it in there. I'm going to turn this down a little. add a little black pepper. You could add it after the ackee, but I like to add a little first, because I find when I add it after the ackee, it doesn't get on the saltfish as much as I want. Not too much. Putting a little over here. So now I'm going to add the sweet pepper. So I'm gonna add the ackee now. I didn't add any extra oil because I have a little water left back in the ackee. I'm gonna take it out of the pot, so that prevents me from using too much oil when I'm cooking the ackee. There we go. It's very delicate right now, so I don't handle it too much. Just leave it there a little. I won't turn it on anything yet. This is when I add the rest of the black pepper. Just enough to cover it, but not too much. Just a thin layer all over. And this is when I add my pepper. Just make a little hole in the middle and add my pepper. I'm going to cover that and let it simmer for a little. See, it's easy, not hard at all. And I'll leave that a little for about 5 minutes and then get back to it. Okay, let's see what's happening now. I'm gonna turn it gently. This is where some people start mixing it, over mixing the ackee, and then it gets broken up in pieces, in tiny pieces. I like to have some chunky ackee in my Ackee and Saltfish. So this now will let the seasoning start to soak in to the ackee. So some people just turn up the flame high and just mix it up a couple times and that's it. Yes, that is okay, but how I cook it, I call it steaming the seasoning into my ackee. So I keep a low flame and just gently cook it down. So at this point, I want my ackee to have a little sheen on it too. So I will add just a little bit more oil and a little bit of red sweet pepper. I'm gonna add just to decorate it and for extra flavor. So I'm not gonna be turning the ackee after this. I make a little hole in the middle and scoop up the bottom, the sauce, and pour it over the ackee. I'm just gonna pour a little oil on it, just a little. This is coconut oil. I use only coconut oil. I prefer the cold pressed one, but sometimes I run out, I get the other one. Cold pressed one have a much nicer flavor. This is just a little, this is about maybe a tablespoon or two. But this is a lot of ackee. This is 4 dozen ackee. You can get the ackee also to purchase in the tins if you live abroad. So this might be about 4 or 5 tins of ackee. So you just go with what you like. So remember, you can add more saltfish if you want. Put that here. And I inspect to see if I have enough black pepper. I want just a little bit more. So I'm not going by any exact measurements. Sometimes we have to learn to cook by judgment. and I taste. Some people don't like a lot of black pepper, some do. So if you don't like a lot of black pepper, you start it a little and you gradually build up to what you prefer. Okay, I will leave this for about 15 minutes to simmer on low. You can check it at about 5 or 10 minutes to see if there's enough. Just look at the bottom if there's any fluid in the bottom, and if there's no fluid, then you add a little water. And that's where we are. The ackee is ready to go, all done. So what I show you, if you look in the middle, I have a little sauce in there. I just take it, and that's where the pepper is too. So all that flavor from the pepper, without having to cut up the pepper, I'm just going to put it all over the ackee. So the pepper is still there, taking all the flavor out. And this is ready.